I am very, very happy to be here in Tokyo, in Japan, at the invitation of Greenpeace. And certainly, I welcome this opportunity to share information from my country, Dominica, with you. For us, this is not just an issue of whales and whaling. This is an issue of our development. This is an issue of our right as a people to make our own decisions about how we utilize the resources within our country. But where is Dominica? And it's a tiny little island, you cannot even see it. This is Dominica. There are 70,000 people, total population. It's very important not to confuse Dominica with the Dominican Republic. For us, as I said, the main issue is development. And development is about people. There are many who don't believe that you can have development without seeing the improvement in the lives of the people of the country, and I am one of those. Development for us is not just about buildings and airports and roads and cars and those kinds of material things. There are two critical considerations for us when it comes to development. One of them is, are we as a people having any influence over how we are utilizing our resources? And for 500 years, we have had a situation where other people have been telling us how to use our resources. We had the French, we had the British, we had the Americans, we had the Dutch, and today we have the Japanese. And our experience of the slavery and plantation and colonization is something that we had thought we had left behind us. But this whaling issue and the relationship of Japan to the Caribbean seems to have brought back this matter of colonization. Because although we have seen that when you let other people tell you what to do with your country, tell you what to do with your resources, that it often leaves you in a worse situation, we are still depending on donors, on aid donors from outside of our countries to come in, and because they have money, it seems that they believe that they can control the way we manage and utilize our resources. And that is something that we are not ready to accept. We make a big mistake if we ignore our local conditions. And it is every time we ignore the resources that we have available to us and try to do what somebody else tells us is good for us, that is when we have big problems. The country itself is telling you that its development has to be based on the management of these resources in a way that is ecologically sound and meets the needs of the people of the island. And as far as our marine and terrestrial resources are concerned, this is the direction of our development that we have chosen. But there are challenges that we face when we try to do that. And part of the challenge, one of the challenges, is when somebody from outside, who is big and powerful, is trying to get us to move in a direction that is not consistent with what the island is asking for. We have discovered whales in our waters, and those whales are now part of our ecotourism. And it is how we manage those whales that has created new economic activity for many of the people in Dominica, new businesses, new jobs, new benefits from properly managing and working with the whales and other resources in our island. That is why we find it quite undignified and disrespectful for any country to come into Dominica and try to tell us how we must manage our resources in a way that helps them but in a way that will destroy the possibility for livelihoods for our people in our country. I want to tell you what happened to me. I was Minister for Agriculture and Fisheries in Dominica in the year 2000. And the ambassador from Japan to my country came to my office and wanted to know how could Japan be helpful to Dominica. Well, we had spent 7 years developing a plan for agriculture, for the economic development of agriculture, and I presented that to your ambassador. And he looked out of my window and said 2 words: fisheries complex. I said, what did you say? He said, fisheries complex. So basically what he was saying to me is, he doesn't care what we have decided that we want to do, but Japan is going to give us what it wants, which is another fisheries complex, something that we don't need. How can you have a country that itself was colonized and occupied, managed and controlled as Japan was, and saw the pain of that experience? How can that same country come into my little country and try to treat us the same way that you hated so much when you were occupied? It seems that the lessons of globalization and colonization have been lost on the officials of Japan, and they still believe that because they have some money, they can buy small nations. And that is what Japan has been doing for the IWC. Buying the votes and support of our nations, using your taxpayers' money to force our little countries to do things that are not in our interest. Now let me make it clear. What the officials of Japan come to us and call development assistance is not development assistance at all. Because they bring Japanese engineers and consultants and workers to my little country to build these things. They bring all the equipment, the trucks, the bulldozers. Everything comes from Japan. So the money that they say they're giving us to do that, very, very, very little of it, if any, really stays in Dominica. It's not development aid at all. It's just the purchasing of our vote as a recolonization exercise.